Hi everyone, welcome to another video. We recently completed this 28 by 21 O-scale railroad, complete with Wi-Fi control and computer automation. Let's take a look at how we pulled this off. Before we do that, please make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel so that you can see more content just like this. This is the first major railroad that we have built since my father Steve passed away in October of 2022. This was the last track plan that he designed. He collaborated on the plan with our client to accommodate certain features such as a hidden staging yard and a turntable roundhouse area. The first step in constructing the railroad was building the module frames and placing them on the floor of our shop to make sure that it all fit and it went around our pillars so that we could get an accurate representation of how the railroad would be standing all in one piece when we deliver it to our client. Next, we got the layout up on its legs, set it to the right height, and we could begin installing the risers and plywood sub-road bed. We were using Atlas O sectional track, so that did make it easier for us to mock up exactly where the track needed to go. But as we made progress, we did realize that some changes needed to be made to the track plan in order to help ease up some of the grades of the transitions between track levels. Our client was going to be running very large rolling stocks such as the Union Pacific Big Boy and the Challenger. Thankfully, they were relatively easy changes to implement. Another challenge we had involved the roundhouse turntable area. It was designed on the upper level of the peninsula. Now remember, our layouts have to come apart and be delivered into a residential space and reassembled. This was a very large turntable from Millhouse River Studios, and we had to make sure that it was its own standalone module so that we could still fit the layout through a standard sized doorway. We'll come back to this area later. As track was getting finalized, we began to wire everything up. We were using the MTH DCS system for train operation. I like to make these drop panels for the TIUs and the circuit breakers placed within the zones that they are powering. This makes for a very good, strong DCS signal. After the layout zones were all wired up, we were ready to run our first test. After successfully running trains, we were able to proceed into phase 2 of the build, which was the landscaping and scenery. This client wanted to add a lot of details and scenery elements by himself after it was installed. This is a hobby after all, and we find this very common with a lot of our clients. So it was our job to do the landscaping and basic ground cover just to get him started. We used 2-inch thick sheets of insulation foam to carve the terrain. Everything is designed to lift off of the layout for shipping, as well as access to hard-to-reach track areas as well. When the terrain was set, we began to add in roads, ground cover, and of course this beautiful river scene. While the scenery was being worked on up top, mini control panels were being wired up throughout the layout. They feature LED indication for turnouts as well as cutoff toggles for sidings and spurs. He can also manually operate turnouts from here as well. Our deadline was fast approaching for this project, so unfortunately I'm missing a lot of the footage of the final work done in the shop, so we'll have to jump right to the install at the client's house. We rented the usual 26-foot Penske truck and loaded the modules by making racks inside of the truck in order to fit everything in one trip. This layout was going to the Berkshires in western Massachusetts, so it wasn't too long of a drive for us compared to some of our other railroad installations. Module by module, we set this layout up over the course of just a couple days. We arrived on a Tuesday and had trains running by Friday. Here's a good look at the backdrop after it was installed. Its primary theme is really a high desert feel, kind of like you'd see in Montana, but it transitions along with the railroad scenery, going from a freight yard to a city to mountains. This layout came from Backdrop Junction, so go check them out if you like what you see here. Here's a look at everything after the initial installation. Things were running well, but between some components that never came due to stock shortages and some troubleshooting problems, we needed to go back for another trip. Our client also decided that he wanted us to expand the scope of the scenery plan by adding more buildings, lights, and trees. Let's take a look at the turntable and roundhouse in action. This is a 32-inch aluminum turntable from Millhouse River Studios. Basically, the only requirement we needed to meet was being able to fit the Union Pacific Big Boy locomotive on the bridge in order to get it into the roundhouse. As you can see, it barely does, but that is okay. It works very smoothly. The controls are hidden in this structure here. It's very reliable, the indexing is very easy, and we enjoyed installing this. The roundhouse kit was designed specifically for this turntable by Altoona Models. It took over 40 hours to build the kit, but it came out really nice. We added lighting to the interior, and that really brings this structure all together. We also added a couple welding effects to represent some work being done on the locomotives inside. The first structure on this layout was a station for the city area. One of our custom builders put this together to represent an urban elevated station with platforms that follow the radius of the tracks. With this station being the heart of the city region of the layout, we added a couple more structures to this area. As part of the scenery expansion we were doing, we added a few pre-built structures from Menards. They are detailed and pre-lit, you can't beat them for the price. So as part of the city area, we added an Arby's restaurant and a bowling alley. We also added the National Power and Light Company building between the city and the mountain area, which has a really nice neon sign that really makes the structure pop. One other fun building that we installed was a FedEx office. This one actually has an animated forklift for loading packages to a truck. Please enjoy some of these smaller details that we were able to add in as well. Now let's take a look at what actually makes this railroad run. As mentioned, this is a fully automated railroad that runs with the Train Controller Gold software from Freewald Software in Germany. By using current sensing detectors and feedback decoders, this allows for the computer to display where the trains are on the railroad. It also makes things like throwing turnouts as simple as the click of a mouse. However, one major challenge we needed to overcome was the fact that Train Controller Gold does not natively connect to the MTH DCS system, which is the control system that this layout is using. For a solution, we called in help from Dave Hikel. Dave owns Hikel Layouts and Trains in Seattle, Washington. He and his team developed custom software and hardware that intercept the DCS signal. and convert it to a protocol that Train Controller can recognize as one of its native digital systems to control the locomotives. He calls this NetCoupler, and if you want to see how this works in more detail, please check out the video he has on his channel explaining it. A big thank you to Dave for working with us on this layout. We are very proud of this model railroad. Most importantly, our client is very happy with the end result also. It provided many challenges that we were able to overcome and learn from, and it really pushed us to use our collective model railroading skills to execute on the vision that our client had. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to check out another one of our videos as well. Also, feel free to visit our website, slatrains.com, or check us out on social media at Stephan Lamb Associates. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos in this style, please make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you let us know what you think of this model railroad in the comments section below. See you next time.